In previous class, we discussed about the different other types of soils: alluvial soils, black soils, red and yellow soils, laterite soils, and desert soils. And now today we will discuss about the mountainous soils. Mountainous soils are also known as blocky soils because of their constituents. They are basically constitutes the nodules, pebbles, and boulders. I'm repeating again. Mountainous soils are also known as the blocky soils. The reason because their texture is they are constitutes the pebbles, nodules, and boulders. They are the less fertile soils. There is a deficiency of organic matter due to the existence of rock particles. So such kind of soils, they are the make possible for a production to the terrace farming. Through the step farming, it can be the useful for a production. It can be useful for production through the step farming by making the step, by cutting the slopes of mountains into the terrace or steps, through which we can make utilize the such kind of soils or land areas for the cultivation. So these are the major types of 6 types of soils. 6 types of soils as we discussed in these 2 days. Now the next topic is the soil erosion. Removal of a topmost layer of the earth crust by wind, water is known as soil erosion. I'm repeating again. Soil erosion is the removal of topmost layer of earth crust. By wind, water is known as soil erosion. Soil erosion are of the 2 types: gully erosion and sheet erosion. Gully erosion, it is spelled as the G-U-L-L-Y. G-U-L-L-Y. Gully erosion and sheet erosion. Gully erosion is the G-U-L-L-Y. Gully erosion when rainwater flow along slopes of mountains by making ravines, R-A-V-I-N-E-S, ravines or gullies. Gullies are what? Narrow channels. Gullies or ravines is known as gully erosion. Example: northwestern parts of Madhya Pradesh, known as Chambal Valley. Chambal Valley lose their fertility, lose their quality of a land eroded through the gully erosion. Clear? Gully erosion. Now the sheet erosion. Chambal Valley in Madhya Pradesh. Next one is a sheet erosion. When running water and blowing wind erode a vast or extensive area or an extensive area is known as sheet erosion. Example: floods Let sheet erosion during monsoons. During monsoons in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Odisha. Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Odisha. Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Odisha. This one has the soil erosion. Next one is the soil conservation. Soil conservation. Soil conservation. We can conserve the soil through the different methodologies. Different techniques are there through which we can conserve the soil resource. First is a contour plowing. Contour plowing. C-O-N-T-O-U-R. Contour plowing. P-L-O-U-G-H-I-N-G. Contour plowing. When we produce same kind of or one type of crop at a same altitudinal areas is known as contour plowing. Example, tea farms. Tea farms, they are generally grows at a height of more than 3,000 meters. So tea farms, example, if the tea farms are there, their roots are holding the topmost layer of the earth crust to which erosion will not occur. Second, terraced farming. Terraced farming or step farming. Step farming. By cutting the steep-sided slopes of mountains, into as steps for production of crops is known as terraced farming. Third, check dams. Building of check dams along the steep-sided slopes of mountains which receives plenty of rainfall. By building small check dams with rocks, reduce surface runoff is known as check dams. Fourth, crop rotation. Changing in existing cropping pattern in which we produce the traditional crops, we have to change with the other number of crops. Such newer crops makes to increase the fertility in soils. Next, fifth, fallowing. When land has remains unused for a certain period of time through which it regained the fertility. Under such circumstances, growth of grasses and shrubs holds the topmost layer of earth crust and not allowed it for the sheet erosion. Next, tree plantations or afforestation. Tree plantation or afforestation. Those areas where earlier deforestation occur. In such areas, we can tree plantation through tree plantations, we can reduce impact of we can reduce impact of soil erosion. Next one, ban on shifting cultivation. Ban on shifting cultivation. Ban on shifting cultivation. Next one, 7, growth of shelter belts along the margins of deserts. Along the margins of deserts, we can plant trees. We can plant trees through which the extension of deserts means desertification can reduce. Desertification can reduce. Desertification can reduce. Clear? Desertification can reduce. 8, strip cropping or multiple cropping. When we produce more than one crop in a single agricultural field in one agricultural season is known as strip cropping or multiple cropping. In this type of a farming, we produce 2 crops simultaneously. Means one step of a mustard, one step of a wheat, another third step it will be as a mustard, fourth step it will be as a wheat. So wheat meets the deficiency of a nitrogenous content in our soils, which will be fulfilled through the mustard. So strip cropping or multiple cropping. 8. 9th, stubble mulching. Stubble mulching. STUBBLE, stubble mulching. When we produce crops, when we produce a less profitable crops and mix the remain of a crop in a soil to increase the organic matter is known as stubble mulching. In this farming practice, soil is provided a protective cover so that its temperature can be stabilized and moisture can be retained to the optimal degree. It checks the soil erosion. When we mix remains of an agricultural crop in agricultural fields to increase the organic matter is known as stubble mulching. Is known as stubble mulching. Next one, 10th, drip irrigation. Drip irrigation. As compared to the open water irrigate to the land, when we use drip irrigation technique, it reduces the impact of soil erosion. It reduces the impact of soil erosion. Clear? So these are a certain number of techniques through which we reduce the impact of a soil erosion. Soil erosion. Clear? We can reduce impact of soil erosion. So this was our chapter, resources. Any questions in your mind? Do it the exercise yourself. Only to answer the questions briefly. Stubble mulching. Stubble mulching is a technique in which we mix the remains of agricultural crop. Means after the harvesting of a crop, whatever the husk remains in our fields, we have to mix in our soils, through which the soils they are getting the organic matter. organic matter, and they are covered with the such materials, such husk. After a certain period of time, that husk will mix in a soil and increase the fertility. And when it has remains on a fields, it also protects the soil from losing their moisture. Because during such months after the harvesting of a wheat, there is a temperature increasing, like presently increasing. Increase in a temperature increases the evaporation process. If the remains in an agriculture fields, then the such moisture will not losing by the soils. Mulching, mulching, Bisam, stubble, 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 mulching, mulching, mulching. Clear? And last, the drip irrigation. This was our chapter, resources. Our next chapter is the forest resource. Forest resource. Forest has played a very important role in our life. Life is not possible without the existence of a forest resource. So how does the forests are important? Forest gives us the oxygen. It maintains the ecological balance. It causes the rain. Forests give us the pulp for the paper. Forests gives us the herbs and medicinal plants. Forest supports for the timber industry. Forests reduce the impact of the soil erosion. So then in a diversified form, the forests are required for the growth and development of the humans. Growth and development of humans. So in present scenario, in a present economies where all the countries required to conserve the forest resource because of their decreasing level and a global warming. The changes in a climate are the result of a reducing number of the forest resource. As per the records at the time of the independence, our 43% of the area total was under the forests, but now presently it has reduced till 19%. We require to maintain the ecological balance or protection of a climate of India. For this, we need at least not as this much, only 33% of area should be as under forest required in India. But presently the 19% is there, which led to the such kind of changes in which the summers are extended and the winters are shrinking. Winters are shrinking. Somewhere during the summers, sometimes as the rain occur as suddenly through the thunderstorms, sometimes as not. So such changes are occurred due to the less vegetation growth. Extensive area of India is affected by the floods every year. So all these impacts, it can be as a reduce when we increase the total area under the forest cover. Forests are generally divided into the three categories: reserved forest, protected forest, and unclassed forest. Reserved are those which are still not depleted. We have to need to protect such forests. So these are the reserved, still not depleted. Those forests which are depleted. Now to the afforestation, the area has increasing. To the tree plantations are the protected forest. And those forests which are basically produced for the satisfaction of the needs of our humans, means timber industry, for furniture, for paper. When we produce the forests are known as the unclassed forest. Unclassed forest. Forest has the very important resource. With the forest, animal species are also important because biotic and the abiotic components, they are interdependent. These two are the important components of environment. Biotic and abiotic are the important components of environment. We need to protect them for the future. For the future. There are basically the forest department has divided all the animal species into the following categories. First are the normal species. Such species of animals which are generally found in everywhere. For example, cow, buffalo, goat, sheep, dog, they are generally found in everywhere. So these species are normal. Second are endangered. Endangered. Those species of animals which are reach at the level of the extinction. If we will not protect them, not conserve them, they will finish from the environment, are known as the endangered species, like tigers, Bengal tiger. As per the records, British records, in 19th century, beginning of our 19th century, around 200 years back, there were total number of more than 1 lakh tigers present in India. More than 1 lakh tigers. At the time of independence, their total number reduced till 3,000. Till 1989, their total number reduced till 700. And now presently in 2021, total number of tigers present in India are just the 400. So if we will not protect them, then after some times they will finish. So they are the endangered species in our country. Same as rhinoceros of Assam. Rhinos of Assam are also endangered. Clear? Third category of animals are the endemic. Endemic are those number of species of animals which were earlier as the normal, but due to the human activities, negative factors, hunting, poaching, they may become as the endangered in future. Endangered in future. Endangered in future. पहले normal थी, अभी due to negative factors, their percentage has decreasing day by day, like elephants. अगर नहीं बचाया गया, if their habitats it will not protected, then what will be happen? They will also categorize under endangered. Clear? This much for today. Rest we will do tomorrow. Now your questions. Tanya, 3 categories of forests are reserved, protected, and unclassed. Reserved are those forests which are still not depleted. Still not depleted means deforestation not occur in these areas. They are generally lies in a higher altitudinal parts of mountains in Himalayas. Higher altitudinal parts of Himalayas in Sundarbans, they are still not depleted. So such areas are now presently called national parks where wild animals are living at their natural habitats. Clear? Second are protected forests, those forests which earlier depleted but now through afforestation, tree plantations, the area under the forest has increasing, are known as protected. They are generally lies under the wildlife sanctuaries. And third are the unclassed forests, those forests which are generally grows for the growth of for the need of a society. Wood की need के लिए, paper की need के लिए, when we are produce a forest is known as a unclassed forest. Clear? Any other?